Hey, at 6 o'clock, call the meeting to order. We'll open with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's okay, just a quick share. Down, nope, down bottom,
How do I get the recording back?
Alt P. I did that. You're good.
Got it going?
Yep.
Okay. Get a roll call.
Buns,
Present.
Wyatt. Here. Lawson.
Here.
Engel.
Here.
Reister is absent.
Have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda, anything to remove? Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome everybody to the meeting tonight. No citizens oral presentations, right? Committee reports, Public Works Committee, Jeff.
Public Works, we met on Wednesday, August 12th. We discussed, first thing on the agenda you're going to see tonight, or on the agenda tonight, will be the YSF Hudson Program Youth Football needing to use the soccer fields in town because the school has put in a policy, any activities outside the school was not to be on school grounds. So that'll be on the agenda for tonight. You're also going to see on the agenda the bid loader. We recommended as the Public Works side to accept the low bid from Murphy Tractor for a John Deere 544L. The next item that we looked at was the sand in the volleyball courts at Freedom Park. There was some talk that the sand was very abrasive, they wanted to replace it. So what we recommended back to them was that we would look at this project not to exceed $6,000 and try to get the labor covered. So we put that back to them. Also in Freedom Park, we talked about the tennis courts and the possibility of moving one of the tennis courts into a pickleball court and resurfacing. So right now we push that back to see what we can get for grants to cover that cost. So that's tabled for right now. We had 2 sewer adjustments, one at 424 Primrose in the amount of $2613, and we had another one at 214 and 218 Sunny Lane for $9103. We moved to carry those 2 out and give credit. You also have on the agenda tonight the blowers for the sewer plant. We made the recommendation to accept the proposal from Barry Equipment Company, Barry Mann Equipment Company, so that the project didn't exceed $50,000. The last discussion we had was on a pickup for the water and sewer facility. The discussion started around a Ford Ranger truck. We talked about an F-150. We still need some more clarification on what we're heading towards, so we tabled the pickup talk for right now. And we adjourn.
Thanks, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff?
I did have one question, and I think I saw it in here, but we had talked at one time with these blowers about fixing them versus replacing them. Was there ever a bid given on how much it was to replace them?
If I recall, I think it was 36,000 a piece.
To fix them. Yeah, it should be in the packet.
I
Or
believe
in
it was
the packet.
36,000 a piece. I could be wrong, but I think that was the number, so we'd be looking over 100 grand. Versus, for this bid proposal they're giving us, that is new motors on all of them and putting all new bearings throughout the blowers. And if the shafts, there's a chance, they won't know until I get into it, the shafts could be undersized. They might have to take it back and rebuild the shafts. But I believe that's all included in this, not to exceed 50,000,
Okay.
so.
So we added the soft starts to
Yeah.
help, make sure that the motor's not got a serious draw right at the start to help prolong the life of that motor.
And we truly think that this is a better way to go than replacing them at this point? I mean, because if we have to fix them twice, you're at the price of buying new ones.
23,000.
Sorry. They actually told us that our blowers, the blowers themselves, not the motors, are better than new because when they manufactured them back in the 70s, they manufactured them to last versus what they do now. So that is coming from Berry.
Okay.
So we felt
Sounds
with
like all
the
the-
housing,
House
by
building.
putting all new
Right.
bearings into it, that we're gonna be better than new
Okay.
at a lower cost.
I'm okay with that, like I said, I'm just trying to justify,
Yeah.
you know, cost, if it's gonna be 50,000 and 75,000 to replace them,
Yeah,
what are we weighing out here
Yeah.
with that? And then the other question I had is with, and this will come up on the agenda later, but if we do approve purchasing a new loader, are you planning on selling something?
Yes, dump truck.
Okay, so there is something that's gonna be
Yeah.
reimbursed
Yep.
with that, okay. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
you bet.
Any other questions, comments? Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
Okay, public hearings, got 3 of them. I'll open the public hearing to consider and gather public input regarding an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa, by amending provisions pertaining to tobacco use. This ordinance inputs language to reflect the new age to purchase is 21 years old. And this would include vaping and everything else. And it's a state mandated. Any written comments that came in?
None.
Any oral comments?
Can we just change it to like 40, just in our town alone? I'm just kidding.
And they weren't grandfathered back either, so kids that were 19 could buy them for a year and then now
And now they
can't,
can't.
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because I know years ago when they did the drinking, you were grandfathered in,
Yeah.
so,
I'll close the public hearing. Second public hearing to consider and gather public input regarding an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to standard use. This ordinance puts language to reflect the new fines for violating any provision of the Code of Ordinances. Moves them up. Any written comments? Any oral comments? We'll close the public hearing. Third one, open the public hearing to consider and gather public input regarding an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to animal control. This ordinance amends definitions for animal neglect, abandonment of cats and dogs, adding tampering with rabies vaccination tags, and adding tampering with an electronic handling device. Any written comments?
None.
Any oral comments? Now close that public hearing. Or in general government, Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. Item A, discussion action to approve the first reading ordinance 834, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to tobacco use.
I would move that we go to the third reading.
That we waive the first and second?
Yeah.
I'd second that.
Discussion on that.
Just the only reason I would say that is because it's already state law.
It's state mandated,
Yeah,
yeah.
that we
Do I
just
need
take
a
care
roll
of it.
call vote on that? Okay, roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-0.
So now you have to motion.
Now I need a
to
motion
pay-
for approving the third reading.
Motion to approve the third reading of ordinance 834.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item B, discussion action to approve the first reading or others, ordinance 835, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to standard penalty.
I move we waive reading 1 and 2. We'll go to 3.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-0.
Now can I have a motion to approve the third reading?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Carries 4-0.
Item C, discussion action to approve the first reading of ordinance 836, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hudson, Iowa by amending, wrong line, provision pertaining to animal control.
It's
I
two
I
ordinances.
move to waive reading 1 and 2.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-0.
You have a motion to approve the third reading.
So moved.
Okay, I'll second it.
Makes it easier for her.
I was waiting.
She was trying to give you guys an opportunity to chime in here.
I'm
It was
good.
doing well.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix
Making
it.
sure everybody's awake too, you know?
Okay, roll call for waiving first and second.
Engel,
No, we're on the third already, babe.
Oh, we're on the third
Yeah,
reading?
yeah,
Okay,
we're
let's
already
do
a
that.
step ahead of you.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay.
D.
Item D, thank you.
No more ordinances.
Right, that saves having to have one
There you
or
go.
two more weeks times. Discussion action to approve resolution 2669, a resolution approving the street finance report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2020. This is a mandated state report showing that we get it, taking it out of the right spot and put it in the right place.
Is it in the right spot and put it in the right place?
Yep.
So
Perfect.
moved. Second.
Discussion?
I should have waited for discussion to ask that, but
Roll
I assume
call.
it's correct.
Engel,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2670, resolution for approval of an agreement for services for replacement and installation of blowers for the sewer treatment plant for the city of Hudson, Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
We're sure this is the way we want to go. Okay. I will trust you all.
Making triple sure.
Okay, roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Engel.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Let's see, F.
Yep.
Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2671, a resolution to purchase a loader for the Public Works Department for the city of Hudson.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
All right, first question. Did we look into used opportunities for this machine?
No, because I can say that most used loaders out there
Are
are
used.
used and abused.
You're buying someone else's headache.
Exactly, because these are beat on, no matter where they're being used at, whether a quarry, another municipality, they're used.
Okay. And we're replacing a 1995 dump truck, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So do we have another dump truck that we are already using?
We have two.
Okay. Is there,
So the decision was to keep the loader, that's the one that went out of service a couple years back for like 2 months, and we spent $35,000 on the transmission.
Front differential hydraulic pump, yeah.
So we want to keep that as a backup, that will also be used for pushing snow.
Yes.
That's it. The main thing about this new one is besides the basic blades, it will have a 10-foot wing. Because the only wing we have right now is on the grader, correct?
Container. And if that goes down, good luck pushing anything else back.
see, and we used to have a batwing something, 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 and John got rid of it. It's what he called it, was a batwing mower or a batwing something?
That would be probably the mower.
Mower, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be for
This is
Okay.
specifically the wing for snow.
Okay, I always like to question to make sure there's not too many duplicates and things like that, that we've
So-
got the right amount of equipment.
The main reason why we really want to add this is A, because we added our 5th guy, B, we keep adding streets.
Absolutely agree,
Yes.
absolutely agree with
And,
that.
and C, A, we can use our old loader as a backup, but from what we just experienced going down south, the more equipment we have at our disposal, the better Hudson's gonna be.
Is this set up so that it can travel to the northern tier and skipping the areas, obviously we don't plow all the gravel and all that stuff?
It'll do 25 mile an hour, I mean, this won't have chains on it, this has all differentials locked, so all 4 tires will spin pushing snow. We won't put chains on like the other one, so it will be able to travel out there. Mainly the maintainer will still probably go out there, just because that travels a little quicker. So this will more be utilized in town for now until we start probably plowing cul-de-sacs, and we might change up the plow routes, we'll see how it goes. So, it's gonna take over, right now the maintainer does East Eldora, Waters, in town, and sometimes Dale Drive. This will definitely take that over, and we'll see how things go out north. So, it's kind of a learn as we go.
Okay,
And everybody's got the proper, this doesn't take any special chauffeur's licenses, it's the dump trucks that are the issue with those, right?
Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion?
thank you.
Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item G, discussion action to approve resolution 2672, a resolution to approve the use of the upper soccer field for the YSF football program.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
One last question on this. I'm the one that asks every single time. If the school's not allowing it, why are we as the city allowing this?
The school will not allow it
Yeah, they're still playing sports, they're just not letting any outside
outside.
They won't let anybody play on
units.
their
Like, I
field.
can't reserve the gym like I have every year for the last 4 years for Ella to have pitching lesson.
So
Like,
we're,
there's no extracurricular outside of the school stuff.
because normally YSF would have used the regular football field.
Yes,
And that's where the mandate is. The Hudson School will not let, other than Hudson School activities, use
it's not that
their
they're
football
not
field.
allowing sports,
So
they're
the
just not
soccer fields
allowing.
are technically owned by the city. So that's where we can allow a non-school function to occur on the city property.
And they would be using, I shouldn't say we, they would be using the upper field that's
So-
closest to the church.
Which is fine, but if because of COVID, they're not allowing it, why are we allowing it?
But they're not allowing sports, they're just not allowing outside groups in, and this
But why are
is
we allowing
our,
outside?
but
groups
this
in?
really is our program.
Yeah, it's a city program.
It is our city program. It
Okay.
usually is run through City of Cedar Falls, but they said no to outside, so we just are doing internal. So like, I wanna say fifth and sixth grade, we'll play fifth and sixth grade, and
So
third
we
and
don't
fourth
have
grader-
travel teams coming into
Correct.
town for this?
Right.
We will. No, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's
With
all
with the
inter-
YSF, this is the tackle program. You're talking about the flag football.
Oh.
This is the tackle program. And so all of our, because there is no game field, all of the games will be played outside of Hudson. So basically what this is
Practice.
a practice field. Because they normally would use the lawn outside of the high school, but they can't even do that.
From a protocol standpoint, I presume they do the same type of protocols as they were doing with the softball programs?
Yeah,
and
they
stuff like
have, the YSF program is following the exact same protocols that the high school program is following, whether it's social distancing, breaking your kids up into groups, making sure they
Sanitize, washing
sanitize,
before.
use,
Mhm.
wash your hands.
I think even the
check temps.
coaches have to wear masks.
Yep, the coaches will all have to wear masks, the kids can wear masks if they want to, but they're not required to wear a mask if they have their helmet on. So, yeah, everything that high school is doing, this YSF is doing.
Good questions. Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item H, discussion action to approve resolution 2673, a resolution requesting reimbursement for the Iowa COVID-19 Government Relief Fund. We don't have the numbers yet, but we have to have council authorization to be able to file for
To
funding.
apply for it?
Yep, and the max that we would get is $58,655 or something.
And that's
like
to reimburse what?
that. That is to reimburse wages. You can use 25% of budgeted wages to, for COVID related. So it's just a flat administrative, 25% of your budgeted wages go to this reimbursement, as well as any expenses like, face masks, anything that the, fire and ambulance have used or they have purchased specifically for COVID, this is allowed to. It's under the CARES Act where,
Sure.
a month ago, cities could not apply for it, so now they can.
It's almost like the PPP program.
Right,
It's gotta be
absolutely,
for-
I-
and not necessarily because of having extra expenses,
Right.
we just continue.
I'll make the motion to approve it, but I have a question after.
Second.
As far as that fire department and ambulance stuff, I do wanna make sure that that money gets back into their,
Yeah.
obviously,
Absolutely.
budgets.
Yep.
If that comes through or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be,
Yeah, I think
because,
their expenses was like $1,500.
yeah, I wouldn't assume, I mean, I know we've got like the plexiglass here
Right.
that we added and some little things like that, but, just so that that's on record, that we
Yeah.
wanna make sure that that gets back into theirs.
Yeah. Make sure that's in the minutes too, Katie.
Yeah, and with the wages and stuff too, I have split it up between PD, streets, parks, and water and sewer, so
Perfect.
25% of whatever we get back will go back
Into
into
their
their budget,
budgets.
yeah.
Chrissy, when we get the request to file, does that have to come back for council action also to approve
No,
the actual
this is what
formal
you're doing,
request?
yep, you're
Okay,
allowing me
So this gives the
to,
blanket.
yep, you're allowing me to go get that reimbursement.
Any further questions, comments? Roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Item I, discussion action to approve resolution 2674, resolution for approval of road closures for the Hudson Chamber Appreciation Supper, which will be a drive-through around the park, right?
Yes. I wondered.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
If any,
Can I just walk over? Do I have to?
Yes.
It's right by my
Yes.
house.
I think what they're going to allow is that if people want to take their food and eat it in the park here, but that's on you, that's not on the chamber.
Right.
But all council members and mayor are encouraged to come assist
Oh, yeah.
that night, just like we did with chili supper and anything else. But people serving will be required to wear masks, and they'll have gloves there.
We'll have, we should probably forward Zach's email out to the rest of the council, that way you'll have a better awareness.
It's
of what
always,
it is.
it's a great time to
Yeah.
meet people and just say hi and
And it's gonna
whatever,
be
but.
hot dogs and other stuff.
Hot dogs and hamburgers, it'll be like the
And
package.
chili.
Boxed in its own meal thing.
Yep, so, and city clerks and deputy city clerks and whoever else are invited to come assist too, and public works directors if they want.
That's my plan.
It's always fun.
Number of informational items, reminder items, regular scheduled meetings held at council chambers except for the electric board and library board. Public safety committee meeting August 27th at 4 p.m. Public works September 16th, 7 a.m. Mayor's task force September 15th, 5 p.m. Public safety September 24th at 4 p.m. Personnel admin September 28th at 4:45. Next council meeting September 14th and September 28th at 6 p.m.
September.
Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Go up,
Welcome back.
you go, Matt.